Hello everyone, you are welcome to another segment of our class. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped regarding the previous lesson. So today we are going to be explaining atomic structure, orbitals, and equations by the grace of God. So taking a look at what we have here on the board, this is a typical example of iron. If we are to reflect back to the previous lesson. So this is our cation, and then this is our anion. Okay? So this is a positively charged atom of calcium. So the positively charged atom of calcium here is having a charge of 2 plus. And why do we assign that 2 plus? We assign the 2 plus because calcium belongs to group 2 in the periodic table of chemical elements. Okay? Then chlorine is assigned, meaning this 2 plus means that calcium loses 2 electrons from the outermost shell in order to become what? Positively charged. Then chlorine, in this case, is assigned -1 because it gains 1 electron. It has 1 electron to complete octet state. So in its valence shell electronic configuration, it has 7 electrons. So when it receives 1 electron from the metal, it becomes negatively charged in this case. Now this is referred to as an anion. Now the number that is attached to an ion, here we can say 1, is referred to as the valency. Okay? The number is referred to as what? Valency. Now remember we said in our last class that valency is a number which signifies the combining power of an atom. Atoms use the valencies to combine. Now in this particular example, we are going to use the valencies to show you how a particular compound is formed. Now when chloride ion takes the valency of calcium and calcium takes the valency of the chloride ion, we end up getting calcium chloride. Is that taken? Now you see the atoms of calcium and chlorine interchange their valencies to form what? Calcium chloride, as the case may be. That is regarding valence and ions. Then coming to atomic structure. Atomic structure is typically like this. This is the modern atomic structure where we have the nucleus being at the center. The nucleus of the atom constitutes the proton and the neutron. Is that taken? The proton is positively charged, while the neutron doesn't have any charge. It is neutral. Now you can see these are orbitals, okay, surrounding the what? The nucleus. And orbitals are regions around the nucleus where there is high probability of finding electrons. So as you can see, this we use E to represent the electron, which revolves around the nucleus of the atom containing the proton and the neutron. Is that taken? Now in this case, without the orbitals, electrons cannot rotate or revolve around the nucleus of an atom. So there is need for orbitals so that the electrons can revolve around the nucleus. And that is the reason why atoms are electrically neutral. When the electrons revolve around the nucleus of an atom, they neutralize the positive charge that is present in the nucleus of the atom, thereby making the atom to be what? Neutral. Is that taken? So until when you have decrease in number of electrons or increase in number of electrons, that is when the atom is no more going to be neutral. But as far as the number of protons is still the same as the number of electrons in an atom, that makes the atom to be what? To be neutral. Then when it comes to equations, equations are shorthand forms of representing what happened in a chemical reaction. You can have different types of reactants forming products when they react. Now in this case, if you have hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas, what will be the product? That should be a question that a chemist should be what? Bringing to other people. When you have reactants reacting together by chemical reaction, the first thing you start thinking is what will be the product of the reaction? What will be the outcome when these substances react? Now what we are going to have is what? Water in this case. Now you may not see hydrogen gas as I write H2 in the reaction system or O2 in the reaction system or H2O in the reaction system. You may not see these letters and numbers, okay, in the reaction system, but in chemistry it represents what is happening in the reaction system so that we'll be able to understand the concept behind the reaction. Now we go ahead a balanced equation by adding 2 here, okay, and then making here also to be 2. So from the stoichiometry of the equation, which tells us more about the amount of substances that are present in the reaction. As you can see, we have 1 mole of hydrogen gas reacting with 2 moles of oxygen gas to give us 2 moles of water. So in this case, equations are very important when it comes to chemistry. So in other words, without equations, we cannot represent what is happening in our chemical reaction as far as chemistry is concerned. So I believe with this little explanation of mine, you were able to understand that these topics are very simple. In case you are finding any difficulty in dealing with them, you can, get back to us, drop your comments, and we shall get back to you also. So in case you have not subscribed to our channel, which is Destined Tutorials, please try and do so for more important videos like this. You can make a request of tutorials regarding some important topics you are finding it difficult, and we'll solve everything for you. So thank you very much and have a wonderful time.